Okay, Garrett Johnston here with Andrew Putnam, and let's talk about putting advice for us at home. And I'm just thinking, Andrew, for you, what are a couple of really good putting drills we could practice just in general on the putting green to get better?
Yeah, so I would say I got two pretty good drills that I work on. I mean, my overall putting philosophy would be that I like to use the bigger muscles to move the putter. Some people tend to, like to have more of the wrists involved and hit at it. Um, I think under pressure, especially, if you can eliminate the small little flinchy movements with your wrists, I think you're going to be a lot more consistent putter, and um, you're just going to have more consistent contact with the ball and consistent control of your face. So using your bigger muscles and learning how to do that, I think, is the key. And so I could show you a couple drills that I do pretty much every day that will could kind of help you with that, and very simple to do. So I do this. I actually do this every day when I'm on the golf course. First drill is pretty simple. I mean, it's something I learned from my golf coach up in the Northwest, Joe Teal. He had us do this a lot. Um, my whole goal is to have this. You probably heard of this notion of having rocking your pendulum, right? You want this V, your arms and chest and shoulders all connected to the club, right? And it's like
For
you want to
sure.
keep this. You want to keep this, I guess, Y or V moving and not breaking down, and basically staying the same all the way through the stroke, right? And so one way to work on improving that is one-handed putting. I mean, it's something that I always do, and several ways you can do it. You can put your arm on top of your forearm, put your arm underneath your armpit, whatever works for you. And the whole goal is to practice hitting putts, with one arm and keeping everything connected. And you'll find that if you're doing it right, you'll actually hit putts really well. I mean, you can keep them online really well, but it'll be hard if someone hasn't practiced this to control the putter, if you're not using your bigger muscles. If you're using your hands or whatever, the club's going to go all over the place, and it's going to be hard to make a good stroke. So I'll do quite a few putts right-handed, and then I'll do them left-handed. Um, and I'll do them on left to right breakers, right to left breakers, and then you go and you put both hands on it and you take a stroke, and you feel so connected because you have learned to move your bigger muscles with one arm. When you put two on, it just feels so much easier.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
Go ahead. Yeah, natural
yeah,
transition.
so that's one thing that's just a super easy drill to do to help teach your body how to use the bigger muscles. And then one other one that seems to kind of add on to that same theme is I'll take a ball and I'll line up to it like I normally will. And instead of taking a backstroke, I will just do a push stroke. And so I'll be pushing the ball down the line towards the hole, right?
Hmm.
And so what this does is this it's kind of the same thing. It eliminates any kind of wristy hit that you can have, and it allows you just to use your core and your shoulders to push the ball down the line and towards the hole, and keeps everything super stable, and it just allows you to feel what it feels like to be very connected through the putting stroke and down the line.
Oh, that's super helpful. And another thing too, like speed, it's so easy for our speed to be off, especially with lag putting, for us weekend golfers. You're seventh in
Yeah.
shots game putting on the PGA Tour. Your former caddy, Carl Smith, said that you're a top five putter of all time on the planet. So what would be your advice to us when it comes to just getting our speed right and a good first putt, lag putting?
I mean, speed is a lot, just has to do with your feel and your practice, just working on it, getting on the greens. But I think contact is a huge thing. Like, if you're not hitting the center of the face consistently with the putter, and your face is moving a lot like this, it's hard to be consistent. So for me, being connected through my putting and not using my wrist quite a bit, quite as much, it's just easier to control your speed because your stroke is not rushed or poppy, or you're not hitting at it, you're not flinching at it. Your big muscles are taking over. So my stroke tends to be probably a little slower than most pros. I know like guys like Patrick Cantley. Yeah, Patrick Cantley is very similar. His speed and his putting is really good. You see how slow back and through, and he uses a lot of his shoulders. And so speed's something you just got to practice. And the more consistent your strike is with your stroke, the I think overall the better it's going to be.
What about picking a target? I know your buddy Aaron Baddeley doesn't have pick a target, one of the best putters ever, but
Yeah.
for us, like, what's a smart way just to find a way to pick a good target?
I always work my way back. I start at the hole and work my way back to the ball. So I'll kind of try to see and envision where the ball should enter the hole the last 3 feet. Because, when reading putts, you're going to get the most break the last few feet when your ball's moving the slowest, right? So you kind of want to see where the ball should enter by what I do. I go up a couple feet away from the hole and I'll feel the break with my feet and see it with my eyes. So I'll kind of feel what the slope feels like. And from 3 feet, kind of hover my putter and, imagine hitting that putt and seeing where I feel like I need to play the break. And then when you go back to where your ball is, you kind of trace back where you see that coming in and then connecting the dots. So that's how I do it. And I know I think most tour players kind of work their way like that through the putting.
Super helpful. We could do that right now and probably get better with our putting.
Yeah,
Andrew, really enjoy the time, man. Thanks for taking some time and chatting for a bit.
sure. Thanks for having me, Garrett.